they made money overnight, hand and fist. It was a joke. They would make it, blow it, make it back. They give me more money than the car cost, and I would buy them the car.
Wait, you can't do that today?
No, you try it.
I won't.
You try? No, serious. That would be one of the worst mistakes in your life. And you don't want to deal with that, right? Does he want to deal with that?
Because I feel like Floyd looked at you growing up like every other fighter. And the persona and the lifestyle was like, growing up in the hood, we looked at it like, that's Mike Tyson. We see the cars, the jewelry, the flair. Like,
He's a little too into himself. I was the same way too, but you have to come to reality some way. You have to bring your head down to God. We're nothing to be arrogant. You expect us to be ignorant and arrogant.
Mike Tyson has just called out Floyd Mayweather in a way that's shaking the boxing world. What he revealed about Floyd's financial situation has people seriously talking right now. Iron Mike didn't hold anything back when he explained what he believes is the real reason Floyd agreed to fight him in April. According to Tyson, this fight isn't about legacy or proving anything to the fans. He claims the real motivation is money. Tyson suggested that Floyd may be dealing with serious financial pressure and needs the payday from this fight to stabilize his situation. It's a shocking claim, especially considering Mayweather built his entire brand around the image of Money Mayweather. For decades, he represented financial success and dominance outside the ring. But now Tyson's comments are fueling speculation that things might not be as secure as that image suggested.
One of the few names in boxing that still somehow matters because there are very few of them, comes out of retirement at 49 years old. We're assuming, right? Everyone's assuming he needs money, right? Nobody goes back into the game of possibly being hit and embarrassed in front of people simply because they love boxing a great deal at the age of, because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Bit unscathed. He is too past his prime at this point, nearing 50 years old, and the timing of it is obvious. Right after filing a lawsuit, it looks like you're coming back because you need the money. You come in, but not for the right reasons about wanting to break records, improve your greatness one more time, and all that stuff. He's coming back for the money. And I know George Foreman came back for the money. They've all had to come back for the money for the most part. But
Mike Tyson recently spoke about the situation during an interview when a reporter asked him why he thinks Floyd suddenly wants this fight after spending years insisting he was finished with boxing. Tyson's answer was blunt. He explained that, from his perspective, Floyd was the one who initiated the idea. According to Mike, he wasn't actively searching for another fight at all. At the time, he was focused on running his cannabis business and working on his podcast. However, he claims Floyd's side kept contacting him with increasingly larger offers. Tyson said the persistence eventually made him wonder why the interest was so strong. In his words, when someone keeps pushing a deal and raising the money involved just to make a fight happen, it can make you question their motivation and whether they need the opportunity more than they're admitting publicly.
Yeah, it's happening. Yeah, it's happening. You think I give that up? I was minding my business. He challenged me.
You look good. How you feeling physically?
Incredible.
You've been training?
Listen, I was wearing extra large. It looks like I'm
Then Tyson made a statement that quickly grabbed everyone's attention. Looking directly at the camera, he suggested that Floyd is taking this fight because he urgently needs the money and may be facing serious financial pressure. Tyson pointed to Floyd's packed schedule in 2026 as the main reason for his suspicion. Within just 8 months, Floyd has lined up several major bouts. He already fought John Gotti III, is expected to face Tyson in April, then a Greek kickboxer named Mike Zambides in June, and Manny Pacquiao in September. Tyson argued that such a busy schedule doesn't align with someone who claims to have hundreds of millions of dollars. In his view, fighters with that level of wealth usually take their time and choose appearances carefully. Instead, he believes this kind of rapid series of fights looks more like someone trying to secure as many paydays as possible in a short period. From Tyson's perspective, the situation raises questions about why Floyd is suddenly so active again after previously suggesting he was done competing.
Are you excited just to see the thing of that like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we gonna get him, man. What you talking about? Stop talking crazy. Like kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I thought the exhibition. He's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by.
Mike also pointed to Floyd's well-documented history of tax issues, something many casual fans might not be aware of. Over the years, Floyd has reportedly dealt with several disputes involving the IRS regarding unpaid taxes, and on more than one occasion, he requested extensions to settle those obligations. Tyson highlighted how unusual that situation appears when you consider the enormous amounts of money Floyd earned during his career. He referenced the massive payday from the 2015 fight with Manny Pacquiao alone, which reportedly brought Floyd more than $180 million, along with the hundreds of millions he earned from other bouts throughout his career. Tyson suggested that when someone who has generated that level of income still asks for extra time to pay taxes, it naturally raises questions about how their finances are being managed. According to Mike, that kind of situation doesn't usually line up with the image of someone sitting comfortably on vast wealth.
Train with all the best fighters in the world, but in order for Floyd to come back, right, to be able to command the kind of money he wants, obviously I'm not sure if he's in financial problems or not, but why would you at this age come out of retirement after not fighting since what, 2017, if I'm not mistaken, something
It's
like
been
that?
about 8 years.
Yeah, 8 years. Outside of exhibitions, obviously, is to do what he's always said is have a bank robbery with no mask on. So if that's what you're gonna do, there are only 3 fights. Chat, listen to me. There are only 3 fights that Floyd can have that can command and get the kind of money he's looking to recoup for money that may.
What made the situation even more intriguing was when Mike mentioned a massive lawsuit Floyd recently filed. According to Tyson, Floyd is suing Showtime Networks and his former advisor, Al Heyman, for $340 million, alleging that money was taken from him over the years through questionable accounting practices and contract arrangements. Tyson's argument was simple but sharp. He questioned that if Floyd is truly as wealthy as he has always claimed, why would he be pursuing legal action over hundreds of millions of dollars that he believes were taken from him? From Mike's perspective, the situation raises 2 possible explanations. Either the money really was lost and Floyd's financial position isn't as strong as people believe, or the lawsuit is an attempt to recover even more money by challenging past deals. According to Tyson, neither possibility presents a very flattering picture of Floyd's financial reality, and that's why the discussion around his finances has suddenly become such a huge topic in the boxing world.
Of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion.
Mike also pointed to the situation involving Logan Paul that recently resurfaced. During a podcast appearance, Logan revealed that Floyd still allegedly owes him about $1.5 million from their exhibition match in June 2021. According to Logan, several years have passed since that event and the payment issue has still not been fully resolved. Logan explained that the fight was reportedly pre-sold to a company in Dubai for around $10 million in cash, and at the same time another agreement was made with a U.S. promoter to stage the event. The claim suggests that the same fight may have been sold through multiple arrangements, while Logan never received the full amount he expected. Mike used this example to question Floyd's financial dealings, suggesting that situations like this reflect a pattern where every possible dollar is chased while payments to others sometimes become complicated or delayed. According to Tyson, Cases like these are part of why discussions about Floyd's financial situation continue to spark debate across the boxing world.
It's there.
Has he paid you, or is that something that you can't disclose
No,
now?
he has not paid me in full. That is a fact.
No
short a few mil, yeah.
Wow. Still a few mil.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Have you been in contact with him?
Nah, we're taking this for the court.
No, are you being serious? Is this like a
Do I look serious, lady?
You do. I'm just making sure. I apologize.
Really?
I'm just...
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. Yeah, we're taking it to court.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So,
Yeah, see you in the courtroom. Congrats, you're going to prison, Floyd.
Oh my goodness.
The reason Mike's comments carry extra weight is because he has personally experienced a financial collapse himself. In 2003, he filed for bankruptcy while reportedly dealing with around $23 million in debt, even though he had earned hundreds of millions during the peak of his boxing career. During those years, Mike lived an extremely extravagant lifestyle. Reports about his spending became legendary. For example, he once spent around $580,000 on a massive 30th birthday celebration with hundreds of guests. He also famously purchased 3 Bengal tigers for about $70,000 each, and maintaining them reportedly cost hundreds of thousands of dollars every year for food and professional care. On top of that, he owned a huge 52-room mansion in Connecticut that required enormous maintenance costs, and he traveled with a large entourage that sometimes included dozens of people. The lifestyle was built around the idea that the money would keep flowing forever, but eventually the financial pressure caught up with him. Because Mike has already gone through that kind of downfall and rebuilding process, many people feel his perspective on financial struggles in boxing carries a different level of credibility. He understands firsthand how quickly massive earnings can disappear when spending, taxes, and business decisions spiral out of control.
49.
He's probably incredibly confused why someone keeps selling his mortgages. He probably has a dozen homes and 3 dozen different people holding his mortgages lately. That's why he's fighting.
It's the price of blow pops that has brought him back into
I'm sure all of it.
Fighting.
And he doesn't look, from where I was sitting over the last 20 years, didn't seem like he was like super fiscally responsible. This is the least surprising thing ever.
Well, you say it's the least surprising thing ever, but can you, Jeremy, just look up for me, okay? The amount of earnings that we're talking about here.
But this is where Mike says the difference between him and Floyd becomes obvious. When Mike lost his fortune, he admitted it openly. He didn't try to hide it or pretend everything was fine. He filed for bankruptcy, handled his debts through the legal system, and then spent years rebuilding his life with smarter business decisions. Over time, Mike created new income streams and rebuilt his brand. He launched successful business ventures, developed his cannabis brand Tyson 2.0, and built a strong following through his podcast Hotboxing with Mike Tyson. He also appeared in major films like The Hangover, which helped introduce him to a younger generation of fans. Later, his exhibition bout with Jake Paul in 2024 reportedly brought in a massive payday and huge streaming numbers, once again putting him at the center of the combat sports conversation. According to Mike, Floyd's situation looks very different. Floyd continues to present himself publicly as extremely wealthy and financially secure, but Mike argues that Floyd's recent decisions tell another story. Scheduling several high-profile fights within a short period, Mike claims, doesn't look like the behavior of someone who is completely comfortable financially. Instead, he suggests it looks more like someone aggressively pursuing new paydays. Mike also pointed out how expensive Floyd's lifestyle appears to be. The constant use of private jets, multiple luxury homes in different cities, a massive car collection filled with exotic vehicles, and a large entourage on payroll all add up to enormous monthly costs. Maintaining that image of extreme wealth can require millions of dollars every month just to keep everything running.
Of course, I wanted my payout to be a little different. Normally the payouts are, at the beginning of the month, but I wanted my payouts to be every week. Spread it out throughout the week because I'm traveling, family, friends, we're traveling, we're moving around, we're doing different things. So I wanted my payouts to be like that, and everything played out like it played out, and everything was going great.
Mike also pointed to reports about Floyd's real estate situation that have been circulating in the media. According to those reports, some of Floyd's properties may be facing foreclosure risks, and there have been publicized issues involving bounce checks tied to unpaid rent for a Manhattan penthouse he was reportedly leasing. Mike argued that struggles like missing rental payments, even on leased properties rather than owned ones, raise serious questions about cash flow management. He explained that even if someone holds valuable assets on paper, it becomes a major warning sign when they don't have enough accessible liquid funds to cover monthly obligations. In his view, that disconnect signals potential financial strain. Tyson also highlighted another significant detail. Reports suggesting Floyd recently secured a $54 million loan backed by his assets, reportedly carrying an interest rate around 9%. Mike questioned why someone who claims to have hundreds of millions readily available would take on a loan with such high interest. He suggested that high-cost borrowing typically indicates limited cash liquidity and immediate financial pressure, especially when cheaper options should theoretically be available. He then shifted to the broader business context surrounding the fight itself. The matchup is scheduled for April 25th in the Democratic Republic of Congo, in the same location that hosted the historic Rumble in the Jungle between Muhammad Ali and George Foreman in 1974. Promoters from CSY Sports and Fight Sports are positioning the event as a legendary clash between iconic figures, and early projections suggest it could become one of the biggest combat sports events of the year. Industry estimates speculate that the fight could potentially generate massive global interest, with projections reaching up to 100 million pay-per-view purchases across platforms and countries. At an estimated $80 per purchase, that could translate into billions in revenue before factoring in ticket sales, sponsorship deals, and international broadcast rights, underscoring the enormous financial stakes tied to the event.
That will be if that is what happens to Floyd Mayweather, that'll be hard for him to come to grips with, because as much as Money Mayweather loves his money, he also loved that O, and that's why he didn't entertain dangerous fights after beating Conor McGregor. He doesn't really want to jeopardize that O, and it looks like he's gonna have to. I wouldn't even be surprised if this ends with finding a way to get Terrence Crawford, who I do think is resolved in his retirement. But if you put a fight where he, at this stage of their lives, he's a heavy favorite and a whole bunch of money on the table to...
Floyd's potential share of the fight revenue could reportedly reach around $200 million or even more, depending on how his contract is structured and what additional profit participation he negotiated. Tyson argued that if that money materializes, it may be essential for Floyd to address mounting financial obligations. He pointed to the $340 million lawsuit filed against Showtime, noting that even if Floyd were to recover funds through legal action, a significant portion would already go toward attorney fees and court expenses. In addition, there are ongoing tax matters that could result in substantial bills, with added penalties and interest. Tyson also referenced the alleged outstanding payment connected to the Logan Paul situation, suggesting that legal pressure from that dispute would need to be resolved to avoid further escalation. On top of that, any reported property risks would require immediate liquidity to prevent potential losses through foreclosure or asset seizure. When combining these factors, Tyson estimated that clearing debts, legal claims, and financial obligations could require somewhere between $400 million and $500 million to fully stabilize the situation. Tyson contrasted that narrative with his own financial position, emphasizing that he does not depend on this fight for survival. His cannabis brand, Tyson 2.0, reportedly generates steady monthly revenue, and his podcast continues to attract strong sponsorship support. He recently purchased a $13 million waterfront home in Palm Beach, Florida, featuring luxury amenities such as multiple bedrooms, numerous bathrooms, a private pond, and a large swimming pool. He also acquired nearby property along a private airstrip for about $1.69 million to store his private jet. According to Tyson, he is financially secure and does not need to risk his health by stepping into the ring at nearly 60 years old. However, he claims that as the financial offer increased, the incentive eventually became too significant to refuse, leading to his participation in the fight.
Why not? Where are you going to take it?
Sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. We're going to put our thinking hats together. We're going to conquer the world. We want to be in every.
Mike also discussed how their training approaches differ and what that contrast suggests about their motivations. He explained that he is preparing for the fight because he genuinely wants to compete and enjoys the training process. Tyson described waking up early, running long distances through the hills, and staying active to maintain his health and focus. He also works with trainer Rafael Cordero to refine his skills and stay sharp, treating the preparation almost like a passion project that also happens to generate income. In his view, there is no financial pressure driving his effort. Tyson contrasted that with what he believes is Floyd's situation. He claimed that Floyd's preparation appears more business-driven because the fight represents a significant financial opportunity. According to Mike, Floyd cannot afford setbacks during training that could force him to withdraw, as that would impact promotional momentum and potential earnings. He also suggested that leaked footage showing poor form or physical limitations could reduce public interest and negatively affect pay-per-view sales. From Tyson's perspective, Floyd needs the event to perform extremely well commercially to improve his financial standing. Tyson further pointed to the negotiations over the fight rules as evidence of tension during planning. He stated that Floyd's team initially proposed conditions such as heavier gloves, shortened rounds, and even eliminating official judges, measures that would increase safety and potentially reduce the risk of a knockout loss. Tyson claimed his team resisted those terms, and both sides eventually agreed on 8 2-minute rounds with 14-ounce gloves. While still more protective than a standard professional bout, the final agreement involved greater risk than the original proposal. Tyson argued that Floyd ultimately accepted the more demanding conditions because the financial reward outweighed the risk. In his view, that compromise reflects how significant the payday is and how much pressure surrounds the event's commercial success.
You recently said that you're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one. He came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already, and he was talking really bad and nasty to me. And so, God, yeah, I thought we were friendly, talking crazy. He said, "All right."
That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time.
Mike also highlighted the significant weight gap between them as a major factor. He noted that Floyd has competed around the 160-pound range in recent exhibitions, while Mike stepped into recent training and fights weighing approximately 228 pounds. That creates nearly a 68-pound difference, an unusual and extreme gap in boxing terms. Even with heavier gloves designed to add protection, Tyson argued that his size and power present a level of physical force that Floyd hasn't typically faced in exhibitions. He claimed that Floyd and his team are fully aware of this reality, but chose to proceed because the financial incentives outweigh the potential risks. Tyson also criticized what he sees as Floyd's pattern of selecting exhibition opponents who pose limited danger. He pointed to Floyd's bouts with Logan Paul, who lacked professional boxing experience, John Gotti III, who is not a traditional professional boxer, and Tenshin Nasukawa, a kickboxer competing outside boxing's elite ranks. According to Tyson, Floyd has structured his exhibition career around opponents who reduce the risk of serious harm while still generating strong commercial returns. In his view, facing Tyson breaks that pattern, reinforcing the argument that financial pressure is driving the decision. Looking ahead, Tyson stated that this fight will likely mark his final appearance in the ring. At 59 years old, he believes he has already achieved his goals and secured his legacy. After April 25th, he plans to focus fully on his business ventures and family. He contrasted that with Floyd's situation, suggesting that even after earning substantial revenue from the fight, Floyd cannot simply retire. Tyson noted that additional high-profile bouts are already scheduled, including a rematch with Manny Pacquiao in September, and predicted more events could follow. From Tyson's perspective, Floyd appears locked into a cycle of continuous fighting to cover ongoing expenses and financial obligations. Tyson concluded by expressing sympathy, arguing that someone who reportedly earned over $1 billion in career earnings should be financially secure for life. Instead, he claims Floyd is competing repeatedly at 49 years old to maintain liquidity. Tyson reflected on his own experience with bankruptcy in 2003, saying he learned from financial mistakes and changed his approach. In his view, Floyd is now facing similar lessons later in life. That wraps up today's video. Stay tuned for more updates, and we'll see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.